So good evening.
Good evening. Hello.
How has been your day so far?
It was a good day. Today is a holiday in the United States.
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Okay. Usually, what do you do on this particular special Thanksgiving day?
We gather with family and friends and we make a meal and just spend time together.
Wow, that's great. Okay. And now I would like to request you to say something about yourself so that my students will look forward to connect with you. I mean, interact with you with questions.
Okay, well, I am Pilar Biller and I live in the state of Nevada in the United States. I am an art teacher for high school, and I teach students who are in the 9th grade through the 12th grade of high school. And I've been teaching for about 25 years. And in that time, I worked with elementary students, so small children, and middle school students and high school.
And it's morning here. It's 10 minutes past 9 a.m. here. We are starting our day. You are ending your day. Yes, come.
Hello, ma'am. How are you today?
Hello, I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. Thank you. This is Dikshit, the 9th grader from ZPH Sailovaram. It's my privilege to ask you a question. Can I ask, ma'am?
Yes, please.
How do you stay motivated and inspiration in your own artistic practice? And how do you pass that motivation on to your students?
Well, my own artistic practice is not the priority. I spend most of my time working at building good lessons for my students, but I start the school year by sharing with them some of the art that I make, and then I pass along those skills. And when there is an opportunity, I can bring some of my experience to them and share that. And that helps them with some of the problems that they come across.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, how are you?
Hello, I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, ma'am. This is Subramanya Srinivas, a 9th grade student from GPH School, Alvaram. I'm glad to interact with you. Can I ask you a question, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Can you share some of the most memorable projects and works created by your students?
One of the things that we do in advanced art classes is something we call art inquiry. In art inquiry, the students choose a topic to explore. It does not have to be related to art. It can be related to their interests, things that they would like to learn more about. And they study this topic. And after they study the topic, we do creative thinking skills. So we practice increasing our creativity and our ability to make new ideas. And then they use those skills to design an artwork about the topic that they studied. And I find that they make some really remarkable works that are things that they're personally interested in, that they're passionate about. And then we are able to put these artworks into a show, an exhibit at the end of the school year for the public to come and see.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm well. How are you today?
I'm fine, ma'am. My name is Sheikh Masood. I am 9th grade from ZPH Alvaram. Can I ask a question, ma'am?
Yes, please.
What inspired you to pursue a career in art and become an arts teacher?
I went to college to study art, but I also studied philosophy. And when I graduated from college with an art degree, I wasn't sure which occupation I wanted. So I took additional classes in museology, which is museum studies, and anthropology. And I also took courses in education. And after taking those courses, I decided that education would be a good career for me. I thought I would do very well. And so I had to go back to school to take additional training to become a teacher. And when I started, I actually taught first grade. So the first grade in our schools. And eventually, there was a job position for the art teacher. And so I was able to take that opportunity and been teaching art ever since. So I'm really happy with the career choice that I made. And I really enjoy working with students of all ages, but to help them develop their skills and their ability to think creatively.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Hello.
This is P. Jaran, a 9th grader from ZPH Sailvaram. I would like to ask a question, ma'am. Can I?
Yes, please.
How do you approach teaching different art techniques to students with varying skill levels?
It can be challenging. Some of the students in my classes are not excited to take art. They have to take a class. We call them elective classes. And some of the students are very excited to be there. And usually the students who struggle are the ones who are less excited to take the class. And so what I do is create lessons where I teach them a specific skill and I encourage them to embrace the goal of just getting better at that skill, as opposed to feeling bad that they don't already come into the class with these higher art skills. So it really helps to develop strong relationships with the students, to build trust so that they are willing to try. And then when I recognize that some students already have some art skills, I create more challenge for them so that they also feel like they're being successful.
So could you please suggest some ways how the current 21st century teacher should be in the classroom? You know, when I started my career way back 20 years ago, where the technology was that much rampant as like today. And today, the teachers that come into this 21st century should be a technocrats, and they should be proficient in their, allotted subject as well as technology. So technology is so important for the teachers of this 21st century. So could you please offer some, you may say that some suggestions or some advices for the upcoming teachers who would like to step into this teaching profession?
I think one of the most important things is to be flexible, to be willing to change. When something is going well, we need to understand why it's going well. And when it's not, we need to stop and be very reflective. I think that's the second thing, is that we need to analyze what we're doing and use that information to improve. When you're a teacher, as with many things, we are also learners, and we have to learn our whole lives. And so going into this career with an idea that you will get to a certain point and then you're successful isn't a really good approach. It's always improving and always learning. And I think that's what our teachers need to be aware of before they start.
Thank you so much. And here is my last question. These days, behaviorism is one of the topmost problems faced by Indian teachers as well as other teachers across the globe. So some of the teachers, they quit their jobs because of the behavioral issues that they confront with the students. So in this scenario, so how should a teacher be like? In India, on paper, corporeal punishment has been banned strictly. And of course, in the United States of America also, you are not allowed to punish the students physically. I know that. So in this scenario, as a teacher, how should he balance his profession and the behavioral issues?
I think two things come to mind. One is not to take things personally. So to know that the behavior is not about me, the behavior is something the student is going through. And so it's important that we try to understand the students and determine if they need additional support. Having said that, there are some behaviors that are, not only out of my control, but in some cases, they are struggling to control it as well. And so we have administration that helps support the teachers in the classroom who are helping to make connections with the parents and with outside resources, especially if mental health is a part of the concern. And so I think really trying to build the relationships with the students and understand that not everyone has the same behaviors that we would maybe expect. And then to find out what it is that's causing that behavior and let the student know that we are here for them, that we want them to be successful, and that we can approach it from a student-centered place.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, and you have given us really valid and the inputs about all these questions. On behalf of my students, and I really extend my thankfulness to you for your time. So before we wind up this session, may I request you to give me a message to my students?
Well, thank you so much for having me here. And I wish you all the very best of luck. And I encourage you to continue your studies and work towards your goals. And thank you.